Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Grant Smith Ellis, and I pray your indulgence for the ability to submit this testimony via video in lieu of oral testimony at today's hearing due to a family emergency, and I appreciate the opportunity to be heard on this slate of important bills being considered by the committee ahead of the June 25th reporting deadline. I want to begin by, again, noting my name is Grant Smith Ellis, and I'm a reporter that has covered the Massachusetts Cannabis Control Commission for a long time, and I'm also going to dedicate this testimony in honor of my father, a long-time former public servant in the Commonwealth. And Mr. Chair, through you to the committee, some of the bills that are up for consideration, two in particular today, I strongly support. And those are the bills, H194 and S90, respectively, that create a internal audit unit within the Cannabis Control Commission and that create a workplace and consumer safety unit within the Cannabis Control Commission. Two important reasons for my support of those pieces of legislation. Number one, as to the audit unit, just last week or so, the Office of the Inspector General found that upwards of $1.8 million in license fees was not collected appropriately by CCC staff, and the four findings from that OIG report, which I'm sure the committee will hear about today extensively, reflect a complete breakdown within the Cannabis Control Commission as to oversight of staff. So that audit unit is crucial. Number two, the bill that would create a workplace safety and consumer safety department within the CCC, also incredibly crucial. I will tell you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee, there are real concerns within the Cannabis Control Commission that there are cover-ups of abuse and nepotism and conflicts of interest, and perhaps worse, within that agency because of the way in which soft power dynamics function therein. And the one way to really make staff members, I believe, feel safe is to implement this kind of policy. Now, Mr. Chairman, a number of bills are very dangerous. The bill to cap the issuance of new licenses, S91, clear attempt by market forces to obtain an undue oligopoly. The bill, H1, a number of bills would attempt to then expand the license cap for MSOs after the market cap is shut, new licenses are stopped from being issued. H160 would increase the cap. H158, S78, S75, H149, H174, all would increase the cap. There's a horrifying proposal that would reintroduce police into the enforcement of hemp to protect the profits of hemp extractors. Please do not move forward with that. That's H158, S99, and also, please do not move forward with H169, S100. Those bills would undermine the ability to issue new licenses as well going forward. All of those proposals related to expanding the license cap and stopping the issuance of new licenses are designed to undermine this market for the benefit of large companies, and they should all be stopped. So I oppose S78, S89, H145, S99, H158, S91, H160, H169, and H149, and I vehemently support H194 and S90 along with H183 to expand purchase limits. Thank you for the time, Mr. Chair. I'm happy to follow up with any members of the committee should there be questions, and I will provide my contact information to committee staff. I'm grateful for the indulgence and the opportunity and to provide this testimony, in particular in honor of my father. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry for the slight addendum and follow-up. I appreciate the consideration. I just wanted to add that there is something seriously rotten within the Cannabis Control Commission in Massachusetts. This reporter, myself, Mr. Chairman, I was retaliated against over 18 months ago due to the content of my testimony before this very committee about some of these very issues that are now bubbling up to the surface for consideration by this honorable body. I was retaliated against, Mr. Chairman. I was banned from going to agency press conferences and sending communications to agency staff. That is the kind of thing that reflects why there must be an audit unit and a workplace and consumer safety department within the Cannabis Control Commission, but it also speaks to the larger issue, Mr. Chairman, which is that there are real problems within this regulatory apparatus, but the problems are not the profits of MSOs and their inability to centralize market control, Mr. Chairman. The problem is within the regulatory apparatus itself, We just saw overnight reports emerging that there has been a federal whistleblower lawsuit related to the seed-to-sale tracking system utilized in Massachusetts and around the country, alleging that out in California, regulators may have been complicit with that tracking program in facilitating diversion of product from the regulated market. Mr. Chair, the problem is coming from within inside the House, and there are nefarious market forces attempting to bootstrap their own commercial interests into these very serious issues. These are all distractions. The slate of bills relating to expanding the market cap or anything to do with facilitating anything that would allow MSOs to own more licenses, in particular, that abhorrent proposal that would do so under the auspices of engendering equity in the market, must be stopped. And we must focus this discussion, I believe, rightly on the serious internal issues within the Cannabis Control Commission that are putting consumers at risk, leading to dangerous, potentially contaminated product reaching the market, and in essence allowing a small group of well-connected and wealthy forces to take hold of a regulatory juggernaut that has brought in $7 billion, overseen $7 billion worth of revenue generation in just a few short years, and it has brought in hundreds of millions of dollars for this state in taxes. Mr. Chairman, I implore you, I beg you, focus the discussion rightfully on the reform of the Cannabis Control Commission that reflects the unheard of screams of the battlefield that lays in the ruin that we are now discussing. That battlefield, Mr. Chairman, to do honor to those unheard of voices who don't have the power to get legislation proposed to distract from the real issues, who don't have the ability to cry out because of this strange structure of NDAs and political pressure. We must vindicate those people, Mr. Chairman. We must reform this godforsaken agency. We must keep in check these nefarious market forces who at every turn look to put their profits ahead of the public interest and the well-being of staff members within this agency. And we must do so in an authentic manner, true to the principles that reflected the formation of this market and the update thereto via Chapter 180 of the Acts of 2022. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the time to add that addendum, and I wish you all the best in your consideration of these proposals, and I apologize to yourself and through the committee, through you to the committee, that I was unable to be there today due to a family emergency. Thank you again. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, and to those of you who will see this testimony on social media, I just wanted to add one further addendum, which is that I mentioned in the beginning of this testimony that I wanted to dedicate my remarks in honor of my father, a longtime public servant in the Commonwealth, and I want to reiterate that dedication. There's no doubt in my mind that the reason I so value the integrity of this justice system and our representative form of government and the legislative body and the executive bodies therein are because of the work that my father did, and as a prosecutor in Middlesex County, and the work that he did representing plaintiffs in consumer class action lawsuits. I truly believe that the apex of human perfectibility and our informed participation in this form of government, it was embodied in the different roles that my father took on throughout his life, and he no doubt not only afforded me, I think, the knowledge and the ability to thrive in the way that I do now, but he inspired me to sort of forsake, I think, a lot of temporal pursuits in the pursuit of helping others and making this government and the system of our laws and their enforcement as good as it can possibly be, not on behalf of any given moneyed faction or the socio-political group or otherwise, but on behalf of the most vulnerable and those who would otherwise be unheard on, as mentioned, that terrifying battlefield that so often litters policy and juridical developments within this country that I love so dearly, also because of the values my father instilled in me. So I appreciate the indulgence. I will be, Mr. Chair, just as a note, I'll be moving leadership to issue a proclamation in honor of my father's life and service to the Commonwealth, and I appreciate the time being able to make these remarks in honor of my father, Rick Ellis, and thank you, Dad. You always used to ask me, Dad, if I knew who loved me before I would go to bed each night when I was a kid. And I know now, not only in the opportunities that you afforded me, but in the life of service on behalf of the vulnerable and the underserved that you inspired me to live, that the answer was indeed you all along. I love you very much, Dad, and these remarks and my testimony, Mr. Chairman, as mentioned, are in honor of my dad's life of service. Thank you.